This bread says whole grain on the bag. It's one of the worst on this list. You buy it thinking you made the healthy choice. You didn't. Stay until the end. I'll show you exactly what to grab instead. Today I ranked 12 breads, from best to worst, by blood sugar impact, fiber, and how processed they are. Let's go. Subscribe and hit the bell. You won't want to miss the next one. Starting off, sourdough rye. This is the king of the list, no debate. Rye brings more fiber than wheat, and the sourdough fermentation does something special. It lowers the blood sugar spike and breaks down some of the stuff that makes bread hard to digest. Slow energy, not a sugar crash. The downside? Real sourdough rye is dense and a little sour. Not everyone loves the taste. And the supermarket rye is often just dyed wheat. Check that it's actually rye, a real champion. Moving on, sprouted grain bread. This one surprised me when I looked into it. The grains are sprouted before baking, and that changes things. Sprouting unlocks more nutrients and lowers the glycemic impact compared to regular wheat. More protein, more fiber, easier on your blood sugar. The downside? It's usually pricey, and you'll find it in the freezer aisle, not on the shelf. Taste is hearty, a bit nutty. Most people warm up to it fast. Very beneficial, and almost nobody picks it up. Next up, whole rye, the regular kind. Even without sourdough, rye earns its spot. High in fiber, keeps you full for hours, and the blood sugar curve stays gentle. There's research linking regular rye eaters to better appetite control through the day. The downside? Dense and heavy. A little goes a long way. And again, watch the label. Rye style is not rye. Good. Leaning very good. Let's keep going. 100% whole wheat. The honest version, not the imposter we'll get to later. True whole wheat keeps the bran and germ, so you get the fiber and the nutrients intact. Better blood sugar response than white, more filling, real substance. The catch is in 3 words, 100%. If the label says wheat bread or made with whole grains, that's not the same thing. Most of it is refined flour. Only the loaf that says 100% whole wheat earns this tier. Good. And the next one? Most people think it's healthy. It's barely bread at all. Moving on. Oat bread. Real oat bread has a genuine plus. Beta-glucan, the fiber that helps with cholesterol. It can soften the blood sugar spike too. But here's the catch. Most oat bread on the shelf is white flour with a handful of oats sprinkled on top for the photo. The actual oat content is tiny. If you make it or buy the real thing, it climbs a tier. The supermarket version doesn't. Acceptable. Stick with me, because the next few look healthy and aren't. Next, whole wheat pita. Underrated, honestly. The whole wheat kind brings decent fiber, and the thin shape means a smaller portion than a thick slice. Good for a wrap, good for control. The downside? The white flour pita is everywhere, and it behaves like white bread. Fast sugar, low fiber. So the rule is the same as always. Whole wheat, not white. Acceptable with the right one. Let's keep going. White sourdough. This is the interesting one. It's still white flour, so the fiber is low, but the fermentation earns it real credit. Sourdough lowers the blood sugar spike compared to regular white bread, even with the same flour. The acids slow down how fast the sugar hits, so it's better than plain white. Not a health food, but a smarter version of one. A catch? Real long fermented sourdough, not the fake stuff with vinegar added for flavor. Occasionally, fine. Moving on. Supermarket multigrain. The name does a lot of heavy lifting here. Multigrain just means more than one grain. It says nothing about whether those grains are whole. Most of the time, the base is refined flour with a few seeds pressed into the crust. Looks healthy, behaves like white bread. If you can find one that says whole multigrain, fine. The default version? Average at best. Occasionally fine, mostly a marketing word. From here down, it gets ugly, and the worst one is still coming. Almost there. Plain white sandwich bread. Let's be straight about this one. The bran and germ are stripped out, so almost all the fiber and nutrients are gone. What's left is fast sugar. High glycemic, low fill, you're hungry again in an hour. Some brands add synthetic vitamins back in just to put them on the label. It doesn't fix the problem. Tastes soft and familiar, I'll give it that, but there's nothing here your body actually needs. Better to avoid. Next up, bagels. Here's the part most people miss. A bagel isn't one slice. It's the dough of 3 or 4 slices packed into one dense ring. Almost always white flour, so it's a big, fast hit of sugar in one go. One plain bagel can carry the carbs of half a meal before you add anything. Add cream cheese, and it's a different conversation entirely. The whole grain version is a little better, but the portion is still the problem. Better to avoid as an everyday choice. Let's keep going. Brioche. This one hides in plain sight. It looks like bread, but read what's in it. Brioche is white flour loaded with butter, eggs, and sugar. Soft, golden, delicious, and much closer to cake than to bread. High glycemic, low fiber, and a lot of calories for a small piece. Fine as an occasional treat, just don't tell yourself it's your daily bread. Better to avoid as an everyday choice. Last, the store-bought whole grain loaf. This is the one from the start, the one wearing the health halo. Here's the trick. The bag says whole grain and shows a wheat field, but the law lets them write that even if most of the flour is refined white. They add a little coloring to make it brown. They add sugar and softeners so it stays squishy for weeks. So you get white bread blood sugar, almost none of the fiber, plus additives you didn't ask for, all under a healthy label. A real 100% whole wheat or rye loaf beats it every single time. Worst choice. And it's the one most people think is the smart pick. That's the ranking. Top picks: sourdough rye, sprouted grain, real 100% whole wheat. And that whole grain loaf? The label is the trap. Remember it. Next, I ranked breakfast cereals, healthiest to worst. The one marketed straight at kids as part of a balanced breakfast lands dead last. Links on screen. What bread is in your kitchen right now? Tell me below. Subscribe. See you there.